Okay, hello, good evening, or whatever time it is for y'all, or for you. I don't think this one's going on the discussion thread. I don't know. So, hello again, my name's Autumn. This is going to be over, so this is my Humanities class, Project 7. I think today's going to be something a little bit different. More fun, I guess. Big ideas with endings, and a big ending, I guess. Okay, so what are we doing? Gotta sneeze. Excuse me. I'm not gonna edit that out. So, the last chapter. Excuse me. Okay, talking about the last chapter of My Name is Red. Okay, quick spoiler, heads up. I ain't gonna tell the whole thing. I ain't gonna ruin it. I ain't gonna mess up nothing, no big details or nothing major. But if you haven't finished the book yet, maybe just pause this, come back later to it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is going on in the discussion board or not. We'll see. All right. Okay, so the final chapter, we hear from a character named Orion. And yep, that's the same name as the author, Orion Pamuk. Kind of weird a little bit at first. I thought it was just like a coincidence, but nope. I think it was totally intentional. So Orion in the story, he's the nephew of Black and Shakur. Hope I said that right. He's the child. He is a child during most of the book. But in the last final chapter, he looks back as an adult and then talks about everything that had happened. Okay? All right. In addition, it kind of gets interesting right here. So let me look at my notes. It was kind of hard to tell if it's Orion, the character, talking, or Orion, the author, talking. You can't tell who's talking to us directly. It's weird like that. But there is a word for that. We call that, let's see, metafiction. That's where the author becomes part of the story, and then it kind of messes things up and plays with your senses between what's real and what's not. So metafiction. There's one line I wrote down. There's one line at the end that really got me when Orion says, let me read it. It's kind of a long little quote. Above all, don't be taken in by Orion if he's drawn Black more absent-minded than he is. Make our lives harder than they are. Shifket worse and me prettier and harsher than I am. For the sake of a delightful and convincing story, there isn't a lie Orion wouldn't deign to tell. So yeah, kind of confusing a little bit. You know, I had to read it a couple times, but it made me stop after I finally got it and read it a couple times. I was like, what? He was kind of literally warning us whether that he or maybe even the author was changing the details to make the story more interesting. So then it makes you kind of wonder, like, dang, can we trust anything that was said? Like, for real? So, okay, so that was that. And I think that was kind of the point, though. All throughout the book, we got different narrators, you know. A person, a dog, the coin, or the color red, like I've mentioned a million times. Every chapter gave us a different point of view. So by the time we got to Orion at the end, it's like Pamuk is reminding us that stories aren't always about facts. It's about perspective. So the big question was Orion a reliable narrator? In my opinion, not really. I don't really mean that. That's not a negative thing or in a bad way. Orion did what every storyteller does. He shaped the story to make it feel a certain way. kind of made people sound worse or better than they were. I think Pamuk was showing us that truth is complicated with that. No one tells the story exactly how it happened. Now, the other question, is Iran innocent? So it poses the question again. So who are we really talking about? Are we talking about Iran the kid or Iran the author? So if we want to start with the kid, yeah, I think he's innocent. He was just a kid living in a messy world full of art, power, love, and mystery. Uh-oh. Did my video pause? I don't think so. I almost dropped it. So that was around the kid. I don't think he caused any of the drama. He was just trying to understand what was going on around him, just like we all are. So in that sense, he was pretty much innocent, in my opinion. So, however, the author, that's kind of more, that's not as black and white. Is he innocent for bending the story, for making things more dramatic or emotional? Not completely. I don't think it was a bad thing either. Writers do that. That's their job. They shape things to make us feel something, or to make us, care or gain interest. I think the cool thing Pamuk does, that he didn't hide that from us. He didn't hide that he was trying to be, sneaky or whatever, or confusing, or throw us off. He puts it right out there. He even tells us, he even said, quote, hey, I might be lying a little, but you like the story, right? And I, kind of respect the honesty. So in the end, what I took from the last chapter was Iran's voice, whether it was the kid or the author. It wasn't perfect, but that's what kind of helped it feel real. The story was full of contradiction and mystery, and the ending does not solve it. So it does make you reflect on how much we trust the person telling the story. So anyways, those were my thoughts. Thanks for watching, sticking with me through all these different layers and all these videos. Let me know what you think, if Iran was innocent, or if you think Pamuk just pulled a really fast one on us. I love to hear everybody's take on that. All right.